Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. India is the world's fastest growing large economy after China, but continued investment in infrastructure is seen as key to the country maintaining its strong growth. Joining me today to discuss India's infrastructure investments is Engineering News' Brindaveni Naidoo, who recently returned from a media tour to New Delhi and Mumbai. Bryn, welcome to Second Take. During your visit to India, you met with top government officials. What are they saying? How is the country tackling its infrastructure problems?
There's an ongoing reform agenda in India, and infrastructure development plays a key role in that. India aims to double its infrastructure investment to $1 trillion from 2012 to 2017, and this is compared to its current 5-year plan, which runs from 2007 to 2012, in which they've budgeted $500 billion. The Indian government is also focusing on a mixed strategy of developing infrastructure, which includes public sector investment and public-private partnerships. And there's also a focus to supplement that public sector investment with private investment. And so the country is very focused and very driven on attracting that private investment. On our tour, we met with the Planning Commission Deputy Chairperson, Montek Ahluwalia, who pointed out that there is much progress being made in developing India's infrastructure in terms of railways, roads, airports, telecommunications, which is obviously constraining the country's industrial competitiveness. But he did indicate that India did need to accelerate that process of development.
Like South Africa, India also has particular challenges on the energy front. What is the country doing to deal with this?
2/3 of India's population are below the age of 30. 400 million people are referred to as middle class. And then there's the whole issue of accelerating urbanization. And if you take into consideration that India is the second fastest growing emerging economy in the world, there is obviously going to be challenges on the energy front, where increasing demand is placing constraints on physical infrastructure. As part of the country's 11th 5-year plan, which I've indicated runs from 2007 to 2012, a target of 62,374 megawatts of electricity was to be generated, and this is compared to the initial target of 78,700 megawatts of electricity. India is very focused on using clean technologies and also upscaling its nuclear technologies. The country has generated 5,000 megawatts of electricity from civil nuclear energy, and it aims to increase this to 60,000 megawatts by 2035. We met with key officials in the government, and what was indicated was that India needed a growth strategy that was much more energy efficient and which would reduce the energy intensity of GDP. There was also awareness that it needed to meet demand by supplying electricity from all sources, both conventional and non-conventional.
And finally, Bryn, the question of South Africa joining the BRIC group of nations, that's Brazil, Russia, India and China, surely must have been discussed. What is India's view on South Africa's inclusion in this group?
That was our favorite question as part of the South African delegation. Does South Africa deserve to become a member of the BRIC group when one compares South Africa's economy and population to its BRIC members? For example, India has a population of 1.2 billion people. There are 700 million mobile subscribers in India, and that's growing at a rate of 18 million users a month. But the feeling in India is that South Africa would further promote the development of emerging economies and would also allow for the sharing of expertise across a range of industries. Now, we met with the Minister of Trade and Industry, Anand Sharma, who very strongly indicated to the South African delegation that South Africa was a deserving and a legitimate member to be included in BRIC. He also said that South Africa would bring enormous value to the BRIC group. A lot of the other officials that we met with said that South Africa's inclusion in BRIC would be a meaningful relationship. And I guess we'll have to watch the space.
Bryn, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is the Second Take show for this week. Thank you for watching and join us again next time for more news analysis.